Please welcome Tiffany Yvonne.
I'm racing down the expressway from Milwaukee to Chicago to take my twin daughters to a model casting. Fancy, right? Problem is, my mind was racing as fast as the wheels on my car, thinking, I want to stop and see my grandma because she's not doing well, but I gotta get back for my son's basketball game, right? And I got a meal prep for my husband because I gotta get on that plane in the morning to DC for this business conference because this is the one that's gonna put me and my business on the map. Have you ever felt like the internet or the radio was spying on your thoughts? Because suddenly blasting, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I could never get enough. And just when I was about to hit my groove, my best friend called. I hadn't talked to her all month, so I raced to touch the Bluetooth. But if you know, like I know, when there's 4-year-olds in the back on a road trip, that iPad concentration is sacred. So I scurried to grab my phone. And when I did, it happened. It fell between my seat and the armrest. You know that place where all the car wash people go to get rich? So I answered on the Bluetooth, and before the conversation could even really begin, she asked the question that I say changed my life. How are you? And you might be thinking, that's not a life-changing question, but here's how it typically goes. How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? People don't wait for the answer, and in fact, they expect you to just say, I'm okay. But something shifted. On that day, I conjured up the courage to tell the truth. My marriage was failing. My business was booming, but I was on the brink of burnout. And this life, it looked like I was winning, but I didn't feel like I was winning. Quickly, she said, don't worry, we just need vacation. And I burst into tears because I knew that another vacation wasn't going to save me this time. I did something that I had never done before. I shook off my mom guilt and I drove up exit 321. I sat there and I canceled everything. The next morning, I had got my mind right. I stepped into that conference room in DC only to find that there was a therapist leading the session. This is odd. She declared, before we leave here, everybody in the room is going to be crying. And I thought, that's cute for y'all, but I'm here to make my money. She was right. By the time the session ended, there wasn't a clear eye in the room, mine included. She told us that having a therapist was a success strategy, something that every busy, ambitious person should have in their self-care toolkit. And she encouraged us to find one when we got back home. Hesitantly, I obliged. During one of those first therapy sessions, the woman asked me, what do you want? Quickly, I answered, well, I want my husband to. She shook her head. Well, I want my kids to. She closed her eyes. I said, I want my business to. She placed her hand on my knee and she said, Coach Tiffany, what do you want for you? It was in that moment I realized I had lost myself in my titles and to-dos. There's an organizational psychologist, Tasha Eurich. Her research discovered that only 15% of people are actually self-aware, but 95% of people believe they are. OMG, I was part of the 95%. But how? I was successful, See, successful people spend so much time checking boxes that we don't check in with ourselves to ensure that our success includes us and our joy. It looks like this. Go to college. Get that good job. Skip that, start your own business. Get married, have kids, buy a house. And if you're fancy like me, make the cover of your city's magazine, get congressional recognition for your work, and host a bi-monthly news segment on NBC. But what happens when your success leaves you in survival mode? The next 3 months of therapy were a crash course in unchecking boxes, learning to stop settling for safe, and making a decision to let go so that I could shift into reimagining what success really means. And in that time, something amazing was born. P. And no, I don't mean those government business loans that they gave y'all during the pandemic. I mean pause, plan, play to win. But when you're successful, you're so used to being on a hamster wheel that you don't believe that a pause is available to you. You think that pausing is going to break everything. But I'm here to tell you, there is power in the pause. In the pause is where you get to see where you are and see where you really want to be. You get to learn what's in that messy middle. But people don't want to look at the messy middle because that's where all the problems are. I'm here to tell you, you cannot solve a problem you're unwilling to have. And that's why we plan. But this plan is not where you learn more, do more, be more. This plan is about unlearning. It's about taking some things off. Raise your hand if you have a to-do list. Raise them higher. Okay. Keep them up if you also have a quit list. Yeah. Just as I suspected. You're like, what is a quit list? The quit list is where you write 10 things that you are going to stop doing. 10 things that weigh you down. They're the thoughts, feelings, and actions that keep you from truly designing a life that you absolutely love. You might be thinking of what can go on yours. Well, I have 3 things for you as a bonus. OPP. Overthinking, perfectionism, and procrastination. If you love 90s hip hop like I do, you know it was never good to be down with OPP. But only when we create a quit list will we really be equipped to step into step 3. And that's where we play to win. Now, as busy, ambitious, fancy professionals, you like play. Girl, play is for kids. But here's an opportunity to learn what most kids know. Play is not something that they reserve for reward. Play is not something that they feel like they have to work to deserve. Play is their birthright. They know they don't have to check boxes in order to earn their play. In fact, they just go out and do it. But playing to win is not just about fun and games and joy. Playing to win is a mindset shift that allows you to stop settling for safe and to design a life and career you absolutely love. It's the deep knowing that that is possible. They say that the quality of our lives is determined by the quality of the questions that we ask ourselves. So I have 2 questions for you. How are you, really? And what do you want for you? I also have one bold challenge if you choose to accept it. Y'all gonna accept it? All right. Create a quit list. And on that quit list, I want you to uncheck some boxes I want you to stop settling for safe, because that is really playing not to lose. And as long as that's the game you're playing, you will never truly be able to play to win. Thank you.
That was Tiffany Yvonne.